What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Total Interest back again with another one. I need you guys to do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification icon for more videos like this. That being said, let's get into it. I recently just seen a video from Greg Hackett on YSM Sports Media channel. He back hating on Bud again. He claimed that he can't pick a winner from Terrence Crawford versus Charlo. That is probably one of the easiest fights to pick in the sport of boxing. Charlo just has a name right now, but Charlo doesn't stand a chance against Bud Crawford. You understand what I'm saying? He'll get annihilated. He don't stand a chance versus Bud. Let's not do that, guys. Let's not do that. Let's not put a battery in this man's back. Like, we know, we've seen the best Charlo already. The best Charlo can't tie Bud Crawford's shoes. It is not a 50-50 fight. It is not a 60-40 fight. It's more of a 80-20 fight. Bud Crawford's on another level right now, guys. I'm telling y'all, this man's on another level. We're not going to act like Charlo can tie this man's shoes, because he can't. He ain't tying this man's shoe. He's not good enough, guys. Let's not do it. Let me get into details on what I mean. We know Charlo. We know his best wins and some of the people he's been in the ring with. We're talking about Jermell Charlo, a fighter that wasn't getting no clout. Nobody knew who he was until he attached his name to Earl Spence. You understand? He went over to Derrick James. He attached his name to Earl Spence. He started getting some clout. He started sparring Earl Spence. What he did was a smart business move by attaching his name to Earl Spence and stealing some of Earl Spence's fame. Him and his brother. You understand what I'm saying? They both did one pay-per-view, and that pay-per-view flopped. You know, these guys, they're solid fighters. I'm not going to say they're great fighters. They're solid fighters, meaning like I would call them a B-plus fighter. Maybe the big Charlo. Yeah. I want to call him an A fighter, but I think A is just too much. You understand what I'm saying? I think A is just too much. So I say B plus, man. I don't want to sound disrespectful, but I think B plus is good enough. They could beat everybody below a B plus, like a B minus. The Charlos, they're not A plus fighter. I mean, like the elite of the elite. They're not A plus fighters, they're B plus at best, in my opinion. Somehow the B plus fighter in Charlo was able to go undisputed at 154 against a guy relatively unknown and Brian Castano, right? He was able to do that. So congrats to him on doing that. But even the fact that he did that, he still wasn't even able to crack the top 10 pound for pound list. How disrespectful. A guy becomes undisputed and can't crack the top 10 pound for pound list. What does that tell you about the expert? The expert don't think he's that good. He's as good as advertised. And he hasn't shown us he's as good as advertised. We seen him get outboxed by Tony Harrison. We seen him get outboxed by Tony Harrison multiple times. We seen him almost get knocked out in the first fight versus Brian Castano, right? The point I'm trying to make is, listen, a lot of people respect Greg Hackett in the sport of boxing. They respect his voice. He got a great voice for the sport, a great advocate for the sport, but sometimes he be saying some stuff that's, I feel like he just say at the top of his head without like, you know, just sitting down and analyzing it. Just sit down and analyze something like that before you say something like that. When you sit down and analyze it and you look at all the facts and you look at everybody this guy's been in the ring with and you look at everything that's surrounding this guy, even with becoming undisputed, the dude can barely crack the freaking top 10 pound for pound list. How good is he really? How good is he really? He can barely crack the top 10 pound for pound list. He went undisputed, bro. He went up there versus Canelo. Once a guy show you what he is, you gotta believe it. He's showing us he's a B+ fighter. He just can't rise above to be an A-level fighter. He was a B+ fighter, good enough to become undisputed. He had trouble with Tony Harrison twice. Tony Harrison was cooking him in the second fight, but he caught him. I mean, do he really have power like people try to make him out to be? He has a 50% KO ratio. Do y'all look at the numbers? Do Charlo not have a 50% KO ratio? People are saying he has a puncher's chance. Do he really have a puncher's chance? Do he really have a puncher's chance? He has a 50% KO ratio. This is a guy that we watch get, well, I ain't gonna say we watch, but we heard stories of him getting punished in sparring by Earl Spence Jr. And this guy, Greg Hackett, can literally sit here and say he can't pick a winner versus Charlo versus Terrence Bud Crawford, the best pound for pound fighter in the sport, and Charlo can't even crack the top 10 pound for pound list? Are you serious? You can't pick a winner? Like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, this shit is hilarious, bro. Like, guys, sit down and think about what this man said. He said, I can't pick a winner with Crawford versus Charlo. I think Charlo, after his last performance versus Canelo, he not going to go out like that. It don't matter how he trying to go out. He's not as good as advertised. So I'm trying to figure out, like, what is you talking about? He's not as good as advertised. He's not what you think he is. Because from what we've seen with our eyes and what we've seen, I don't think he can get any better, bro. I don't think he can get any better. We've seen the best of Charlo already. We've seen him get outboxed by low-level fighters like Tony Harrison. Is Tony Harrison an A+ fighter? A B+ fighter? Is he a pound-for-pound level of talent? How good is Tony Harrison, who we seen get cooked by, what's his name? The one that Charlo didn't want to fight. Tim Tszyu. We seen him get cooked by Tim Tszyu. How good is Tony Harrison? That gave Jermell Charlo all the problems in the world, and he's a boxer. But it's all that and more. And you're telling me, you expect me to believe this is a 60? This is a fight you can't even pick the winner. Jermell Charlo will get annihilated. He's only gonna go in there for the cheese, bro. He's not going 12 with Bud. He's gonna try his best, but his best is not good enough. He's gonna get annihilated. These are the facts, man. Just look at the facts, man. And I don't get it. I bet you if they asked Buddy how Boots would do versus Charlo, he'd be like, oh, Boots would knock him out. But against Bud, you can't pick a winner. This shit is laughable. It's your boy No Interest, and I'm out.